and they must work. They must do work on that as fast as possible. My concern is always, people have been saying, okay, you have to be a member of a political party. Initially, ORPP did not have that section of you can register yourself. In fact, it was very difficult. I mean, you had to go to the offices. But today, I can register myself, but still, Alionya cannot register me in her party without me confirming that actually I'm interested. Get that? So IBC has to revolve. We are looking at 6.3 million new voters. This is not a small number. This is a number that even if we are going to do voter registration for 30 days or 60 days, then there must be connectivity with the technology to make it move faster. Tuko Kadi did 400 in one day in Kasarani, and they are doing the initiative is moving to Kibra. Then what I would want to put on record is rally more young people across the country, not only in Nairobi. I was in Nakuru yesterday, and I had a meeting with the leadership of Nakuru youth, leadership of Nakuru young people, and we agreed that what is happening in Nairobi needs to be cascaded down to Nakuru, because at the end of the day, there are more young people in Nakuru as well who will want to participate in this process. In fact, their revelation was, we're just seeing these things happen in Nairobi, we're not aware of how they happen. So then Tuko Kadi initiative, we are also going to push it to Nakuru, Kisumu, Busia.
It's the mechanics of how to push it, because, and that's why I'm asking about the nature and the DNA of the social media administrator for an organization like IEBC.
That's where I'm coming. IBC, just as scary. You know, sometimes you might post your nice vehicle on Twitter. Yeah. Then Kiari just from nowhere.
Congratulations.
Comments up, congratulations. You see? So right now, young people have gone into this challenge of Sabela, and everybody's doing it. We want to see how can IBC capture that. Get that? In that challenge. We want to see Ethicon in this thing. We want to see the commissioners getting involved in this thing. I mean, it does not mean that they have taken sides, but these are young people who are just interested. And as I finish on that, focus now should not be you are registered to vote for who. Focus should be, are all of us registered? Yes. First thing, let's first register, because anyway, even if you don't like the opposition and you're not registered, you can't do much about it. Yeah.
Are we seeing the end of the typical corporate communications person or social media administrator? That many have tried, and the formal way of communicating, the way people have been taught to communicate corporate lingo from the IEBC's perspective has not worked at all. Now you're seeing organizations like KRA communicating in very interesting ways on social media. Are we seeing the end of the corporate social media administrator and probably the entry of a new kind of a younger Gen Z administrator who can appeal to that generation?
I think when you're doing communication and you are targeting certain segmentation, specifically with a certain behavioral, what triggers them is the way the algorithms works. And for that now you need to understand that these people want social proof or for the fear of being left out, FOMO. So you have to think of that.
FOMO is a big, it's a big deal for
because everybody wants to be in the trend. At the same time, in Kenya we understand one thing, that what trends in this week might not be there in the next week. Because at this point, we are at the Tuko Kadi. But the question is, we want to retain this narrative and at the same time to put a lot of sensitization and also to bring people to register as voters. What exactly do we have to look to? So it means the team behind that much creativity must also analyze other ways and putting other methods, because methodologically they need also to evolve each and every time. Because if today we're using Tuko Kadi, maybe tomorrow Tuko Macho, we evolved with the time and time. And I hope, because this is Nairobi, the urban setup does that. But at the same time, we have to look peri-rural urban setup, where now we need to think of the other youths who are not that creative. But at the same time, we must also have the means that they may try in it, and also it works for them. So I think that's where now they need to be very creative. And that's why sometimes I usually feel like we don't have to be in a homophous way, but when you are trying to be homogeneous and identifying ourselves as the youth when doing photo registration, I think the most important aspect is when we are all doing this, then we ask ourselves, what is something that we may put in place to make sure that we evolve every time and every time. I mean, I think if that team can do the something creativity, then they have to involve everyone and to make sure that they innovate ways that they can do that every time and every time.
It means we should be having trend after trend after trend until election day. How sustainable is that? And what other ways would you suggest that we target these people who are probably not on social media constantly, the ones you say are in probably marginalized areas and don't have smartphones?
Yeah, I think we will have to do physical engagements, because there's some areas where villages are very many kilometers apart. So if you're going to a county like Wajir, a county like Turkana, a county like Mutera, we need to look at how can I engage these youths, maybe in one constituency. What is the central point that we can actually meet a number of youths, and how can we meet the opinion leaders to even help us in disseminating this information? Because there are some people who understand thoroughly, but others do not even know the trend is trending.
Right.
And another important thing that I've forgotten,
very briefly,
okay, is most young people are registering out of peer pressure. Please register where you will actually vote. Don't register here in Nairobi, and you know very well in 2027 you will be in Kakamega, Nabaholo.
So probably even things like roadshows would work. Do you think roadshows work in places like rural Siaya and Kakamega?
That's another initiative we can tap into.
All right.
Yes, it does, and that's why IBC must come on board with this Tuko Card initiative, and they'll also play a part in it. Because so far, right now, it's just working online, people mobilizing online, and then it means that segment that are not online have been left out. So then IBC, through their different branches, they have to tap into this and ensure that they work with the common faces that are pushing this to reach wale watu who are not online. Yeah, and of course, what she has said, young people must register where they're going to vote. And if by any chance you are under control of your parents, then you will be wise enough to register that you're going to vote in the village. Because at the end of the day, they'll compel you.
I think the challenge is in the communication, because for them to agree first to register and for them to agree even to vote, those are two different problems. And I think the challenge you've agreed is in the communication.
Yes, there's a challenge in communication. But now you see, the main focus right now is have the voter's card.
Okay.
Because even if you are not going to vote or you're going to vote, at that time when you don't have the card, you can't do much.
All right.
So have it first.